August 5th meeting to order. Let's all stand for the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Member First, will you please take roll call? Yes. Member Corcoran? Here. Member Ketto?
Here.
Member Olson? Here. Member Rayfield?
Here.
Member Tyson's here. Member Peterson is on scheduled vacation, absent tonight, and Member Luther is on scheduled vacation and absent. Thank you. Do I have a motion to approve tonight's meeting agenda?
Ketto with the motion.
All in favor, say aye.
Second.
Second. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Seeing that we have no green cards from the audience to speak on tonight's agenda, Member Ketto, will you please give us a summary of the previous listening session?
I would be happy to, Chair Olson. The session tonight went from 6 to 6:45 in the boardroom due to the number of attendees that we had. Normally we meet in the back room, but there obviously was not enough room. We had approximately 50 attendees. It was standing room only, as the people that are here know. We had 14 speakers who talked about the topics including critical race theory, masks regarding COVID in our schools, discrimination, choice, and Equity Alliance Minnesota. And that ends my report.
Thank you. Agenda item number 5 is student. We're going to take a moment for the superintendent to introduce 2 new assistant principals.
Thank you, Madam Chair. I'd ask high school principal Mr. Jim Caldwell to step forward. We're fortunate in this district to have hired 2 incredibly talented assistant principals to replace folks that have moved on for other positions. One at the high school, one at the middle school. Mr. Caldwell.
Member Vice Chair, School Board Superintendent, thank you for allowing me to come and introduce Ms. Sarah Stratton today. Sarah's been with our district for 6 years. She started as a bio teacher and worked her way up through her master's degree and her principal license, ended at the high school in the dean position where she has worked tremendously hard. And through an extensive search and interviewing process, we were happy to bring Sarah on board as our assistant principal. So with that, I'll hand it off to Sarah for a couple words.
Thank you. I'm happy to be here tonight and continue building my relationships with people I've already built here within the Forest Lake area, and I really value the relationships that I built with families and students and staff members, and looking forward to continue to create a place for excellence for each individual student.
Ms. Stratton actually is replacing Ms. Haley Lang, who is now our middle school principal, who replaced Mr. Jacobson, who's now our director of teaching and learning. Ms. Haley Lang.
Evening, it was a trickle-down effect for members of the board, Dr. Massey. Maybe you recognize Mr. Van Hefty. He was at our 4th of July parade. His face was sticking out of some of the bus windows that you may have seen. So you may recognize him, but he was a part of our district and then left for another assistant principal role and is now back in our district and serving our students and serving our families in partnership. So, Mr. Van Hefty.
Everybody, School Board, Dr. Massey. Well, first off, I hope I passed the handing pencil out test. That was part of the job requirement, so I think I got that one down. I've told a lot of people that while I did leave Forest Lake for a year, I tried to get back as soon as I could. So it's wonderful to be back. I'm looking forward to serving this community and doing everything we can to partner with families and help out students.
Agenda item 5, student achievement, Principal Scott Geary from Lino Lakes Elementary.
Good evening, everyone. 15 years ago, I was being introduced as the assistant principal at Southwest, so that brings back some memories. Whenever the sign-up goes around for principals to present, I always pick August because I feel like we need to have a little bit of lightheartedness in the summertime, hence the no tie and shirt, so I apologize if that offends. But I'd like to do something interactive with the board, if I might or may. play a little Kahoot and tell you a little bit about Lino Lakes this past year and some other general information. So if you would, please, humor me. Go to Kahoot.com. It's spelled up there on the, you can use your phone or your laptop to do this. I'll look over Member Corcoran's shoulder here, see what's going on. So then you just click on Kahoot, Learning Games, Make Learning Awesome. And then on the top right, you'll see Sign Up in a green box. To the left of that, it says Play. I want you to just click Play. So you should be on a screen that says Kahoot, and then an area to enter your game in. Anybody not there? Uh-oh. Yeah, and if you're there, go ahead and enter the game pin. And I promise, once we get past this stage, it'll go relatively quickly.
Anything about geographic questions?
There you go, you're good.
Scott, are we putting the number in the screen?
Yep, the 126-0684.
I hope it's not gonna ask if something changed.
Yeah, it's just geographical questions.
I think I picked, well, you put in your own name. Now you're making it a
Oh,
competition.
memory field. Look at that.
I guess there's
Keep it very efficient.
Fancy. Did you put a nickname in? Yeah.
You can set this up to do family-friendly names, which I picked, but you can do that. Now everybody will know how you did on the quiz.
Oh, no.
All right. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. All right, we're ready to go. So when I click the start button, it'll pop up with a question, and you just have to click on which colored box or symbol matches the correct answer. Okay? You want to just run it, Phil? All right, here we go.
Okay.
What school district is Lino Lakes Elementary part of?
Better know. I need smart.
What I failed to tell you yet, or I will include you in, you get points for how quickly you answer it and correctly. So let's say Member Raphael was ahead of Ms. Tyson. He would get a little bit extra points even though I was right.
I was like, what are all these shapes?
I know, I
So,
like the color.
first question, and the reason I put it up here is Lino Lakes Elementary School, as you know, is in the heart of Lino Lakes, the town, the city, and we are often confused with those 3 other districts. So it's my job and my staff and our outreach to inform folks in the Lino Lakes area that we are part of the Forest Lake School District. Went to Target the other day, we have Forest Lake here and Target down there. So all right, here we go. Mr. Brockman, can you, thank you. Just click next for me. Thank you. Number 2. This is that Lino Lakes, not the district. We gained over 50 students last year at Lino Lakes Elementary School.
I was gonna say that affects me too.
Because of the district's commitment to in-person learning.
Wow.
And that's what the families told us. They came from Centennial and Okanagan, Lake Fair Lake, and other districts, some North France, because of our commitment to that. So it's a good decision on our part, because we all know that in-person learning is the best learning.
Can I change my answer?
Yeah.
You can't change your answer. Nope, you're locked in. So if you go ahead and click next. All right, number 3. Hopefully that's an easy question. There you go. Yes, Lino Lakes Elementary, we offer both Immersion Plus and we offer the STEM programming, and that is also a big draw that when I give tours to families, those are the 2 questions that come up from the families. Tell me more about STEM, tell me more about the Immersion Plus program. So again, another great decision by the district years ago. Thank you, Mr. Brockman. Number 4. Excellent job, everyone. We use FAST data, or the FAST assessment, to gauge where students are with their literacy skills. And the categories are high risk, some risk, high risk, some risk, low risk, and well above. And every year my staff, our goal is to move 3% of our kids out of that high risk into any of the other categories, and we achieved that again this year. So hopefully, over time, we'll go down. Yes, sir.
So when you move them out, are you then seeing that moving forward through the 4th grade?
Yes. Into the next grade, as well as in the, so they go from high risk to some risk. There's a percentage bump in some, and then obviously to the low risk and the high and the low above. All right, number 5. All right, we offer guided reading in grades 5 and 6. We do PALS and K-PALS in the kindergarten 1 and 2, and then Jan Richardson for 3rd, 4th, and 5th. Drop Everything and Read was actually an initiative we had at Southwest Senior High back when I was principal there. So, sorry, I might have pulled that out. All right, number 6. Yes, no candy rewards. I won't say anything else. Number 7. Yes, if you remember last year when I came and presented for August, I did a blooper reel of our news crew. Unfortunately, due to COVID, we weren't able to bring in Tim, our news expert, to do it with the 6th graders. What we did instead was had a video club, and any videos we had to make and present to the whole school, we had a club of kids who would come and be the actors for those. So it's kind of a different twist on the news program, but we're hoping to get it back this year depending on how the fall plays out.
Yeah, students love that.
We're almost done. 3 more.
Interesting answers there.
Like the green one?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I was gonna hit
Yeah, we all want Starbucks, Target, Everyday Mom, but science, technology, engineering, math is one of the programs we have at Live Lakes. Perfect. Here, what you want to do is grab it and place it in the correct order. So if you think the yellow one's first, you're going to click it and put it to that first box on your screen.
When it happened?
Yep, from earliest to latest.
Okay.
Miss Tyson's looking smug over there.
Her and Jill have a little advantage.
Well, that's true. Remember Olsen would too.
Jill more than I do. Trying to catch up to Jill. You know, I'm behind for sure.
So wait, no. We're going to time out whoever the other 2 are.
Somebody's got to hit the little.
You have to hit the submit button now.
Oh.
Okay, sorry. All right. Lion Lakes Elementary open. Actually designated as a Minnesota School of Excellence back when Jan Masterson was the principal several years ago. We maintained that credential. And we added Immersion Plus in STEM and remodeled 4 years ago with the bond project, and now I'm the principal there. That's been 4 years. Perfect. And our last question, I believe. Yeah. Select all that apply though. You have to click on all that apply.
I didn't submit last time. Yeah, that's a,
All right. I wanted to give a shout out to Lisa Sauer. She's phenomenal. You all know her and Dave. Well, the real reason for this question and for this highlight is our staff is a range of a third is within 5 years, the next third is within that 6 to 15-year range, and then the last third is the 16 to 30-year range. So we have a great staff. They get along well together. Their best interest at heart is the students learning, and they'll do anything they can to get those students learning. So, any questions for me about Lion Lakes Elementary that came up during that? I don't know, do you want to show the score, Tim?
No.
No.
Oh, yeah.
All right.
Really bad.
I didn't
submit a whole
I know, I messed up.
And Rosen's running the show, she says yes.
She did it. Okay.
There you go.
That's me. Who were you?
All right.
Awesome.
Well, again, thank you for letting me come and
Yeah, that was
hopefully
fun.
give you a little lightheartedness tonight.
I have a question for you, Scott. Well, typically, our enrollment for immersion has been full.
Yes.
Has it consistently kept full with a waiting list?
Yes.
Because I know it's a tough question given the COVID year, but.
Yes. We cap kindergarten usually at 18 to 20.
Okay.
And we've run that at Lino every year since I've been there. 1 year we did have 2 sections. I think that was my first year. We had 2 sections. Every year since we've had a full section of immersion.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
And then with the big, beautiful building remodel, do you find that you still, I mean, I've been out there when you really take advantage of using that STEM room and that nice big foyer entryway, the kids kind of use that for gathering spot, is that still?
It is. Unfortunately, our STEM room this year became a storage room for all the extra furniture that couldn't be in a classroom because we had to spread kids out.
Okay.
This year, right now, it's actually slowly being put back in the classrooms. But yes, the big commons area and that outdoor classroom, if you're familiar on the west end, we have benches with a podium.
Yes,
Used
very
every day.
nice.
Yep.
Oh, okay.
It's a wonderful building.
I have a question regarding the 50 students that you did gain.
Yes.
Did you track, are they coming back?
I knew you would ask that question.
That's a big number.
Of the 50 we gained, we currently have about 20 that are going back to wherever they came from, and the other 30 we haven't heard, so we assume they're coming back. So it's still a net gain.
Don't use this business.
It's still a net gain.
Good.
Yes.
Okay. Thank you.
Good question.
Great report. Thank you, sir.
And I'd just like to say, I really appreciate the work you've done there, and it's just such a great school, and it's in a good location, and you know, both the immersion and the STEM programs are just really great options for parents in that area, and a great choice for them, and so anything that we can do as a board to help you out, keep things running smooth, just be sure to let us know.
August 21st, Blue Heron Days Parade. We're going to march and have the bus, so come on down.
That's a good parade.
Yeah. All right. Thank you all.
Thanks.
Have a good night.
Thanks.
Okay, moving on to positive happenings. Everybody has a ABE flyer, which is adult basic education that you can take a look at. Anybody else have any positive happenings to share?
I just wanted to comment on the stadium, how beautiful it looks. And the home bleachers are on the right side, and I know the concession stand's starting to really come together over there, and really working on the practice field, and nice to see the disc area, track and field stuff. I haven't been by, I don't know if the track's in. Is it in yet, or you know? Is it done yet?
The asphalt base is there, and the
Okay.
track application will be coming next summer.
Very exciting. Can hardly wait for that first football game and track meet.
On that note, I just add that I have driven by many times because I live in that area, and I have seen kids out there playing football already on the field, and I've seen people walking around the track almost every time of the day. So.
It's gonna be well used by the community too. Member Tyson?
I just wanted to add that the practices have started too. I saw them all up at Fenway on the field Tuesday night or whenever I met bike. So that's great to see. And the schedule's out for football too. I also want to say that a positive happenings was being up at Arts in the Park and seeing our Forest Lake banner and our presence there. I think that's important to be up at the event in town and be collaborating with them and having our banner up and people there. So people can talk about our district.
Can I add one more thing? I also, because I live around here, tend to drive by the old Central Junior High, which is dear to me because all 3 of my kids attended that school. And if you haven't driven by it, I'd suggest you drive by it because it's now looking really, really great. It's almost ready for students.
And on that note, Forest View looks awesome. That fascia is all painted now. So it just is stunning, made a huge difference. I mean, we know the building is so beautiful inside and so remodeled, but the outside, that up above brick that was so problematic, it's all painted and just looks so nice.
And I was just gonna comment on MSBA today, since we all just attended the summer seminar, and Dr. Massey did a fabulous job with your staff about the strategic plan and how it's a living document, and really said how we follow it. Every decision made is based on that plan. So I think it was just a well done presentation. Thank you for that. Okay, number 6, reports. City of Forest Lake, Member Tyson.
Yes, the City of Forest Lake has a mandatory water ban that went into effect on July 26th and will be on until the council has a new decision for us. I did talk with Lori Juleson about activities in the park and how they're going. She said the adult courses are not full, but they're very well attended. She said the people that come consistently. Grandma comes with the daughter and the teenage daughter, and they all do yoga in the park every week. She said the children's classes, the art creating, kids creating, are full. And she said the parents come with their coffee, some of them walk, some of them drive, and watch the kids and have time for community themselves and time to visit. So that's good to hear, that collaboration where all the activities are $5. Also, one thing I want to mention lastly is that there's a downtown planning process for the City of Forest Lake. It's a long-term investment. I went on their website. There's a framework on there, which includes a word wall, project download, so you can look at actually what some of the projects look like, and interactive maps. So that concludes my report.
Northeast 916, Member Kettle.
The Northeast Metro 916 Board, which I am a member, met last night. We talked about a legislative update. We talked about QComp. We talked about how they're going to take what we use, which is board book for our meetings. They're switching over to the board book system. We had a superintendent's report from Valerie Bowe, who is the new superintendent. It was her first meeting that she actually administered, so it was kind of a great thing. And I should have said it up front, it was in person, which was the first meeting that I have attended in person with that board since I joined that board. So that was great. And last but not least, just for the fun of it all, Marilyn Forsberg, who many of you probably know, who's been a chair of that district forever, actually became the #1 MSBA record holder for the most MSBA points that any person can actually attain in that organization. We celebrate that for Marilyn. So if you do know Marilyn, you may want to send her a note and say congratulations.
I did. She's a
And that ends my report.
Member Kettle. Superintendent Report, Dr. Massey.
Thank you, Madam Chair. First of all, Mr. Scott Geary and his presentation, I just want to recognize the incredible leadership that he's providing down there, offering innovative programs in STEM and immersion. It is a highlight for our district, and the teachers there are just doing amazing work preparing kids for the future. So hats off to Scott and his leadership. I would also like to thank the parents and community members who came out to tonight's listening session, as well as those who have reached out over the last several weeks and shared concerns regarding course content and topics. We value your input and the time you have taken to bring concerns forward. Many of the concerns centered around critical race theory, as we heard tonight, and questions about what is being taught in our classrooms. Our role as educators is to teach to the Minnesota standards and district learner outcomes, and in doing so, align district curriculum and instruction to these standards and outcomes. The mission is to teach in a way that provides comprehensive perspectives and viewpoints, and to do so in an unbiased, objective manner that is absent of a teacher's political or religious perspective or beliefs. Ultimately, our task is to help our students become critical thinkers, where they form their own conclusions and opinions, and to refrain from telling students what to think. Later in the agenda, you will be asked to approve a resolution that defines protocols for the start of the school year. Largely, the resolution calls for our schools to be fully open for all students at the start of the school year. We will be providing a distance learning option for students in grades K-6, and the recommendation that staff and students wear masks when indoors, but that masks will not be required. We are currently taking enrollment for Ranger Academy, our distance learning program for K-6, and the full online program for those grades. Staffing for this program will depend on the number of students that elect, or families that elect this option for their students. As mentioned earlier, and Mr. Brockman will pull up a picture for me, if you would. The high school athletic field is working its way toward completion. We fully expect to have soccer and football events on the field this fall with lacrosse and the first home track meet in over 25 years in this district. The complex will be equipped with a 9-lane track, an artificial turf field, a new concession stand, a ticket booth with indoor restroom facilities, new home and visitor bleachers and press box, and on-site team meeting rooms. The auxiliary field will also have artificial turf and is designed with the softball field and markings for soccer, lacrosse, and football. In addition, the practice field just outside our parking lot here has been remodeled to include an updated irrigation system, drainage, and natural grass turf. It is important to stress that this project follows the 2015 bond referendum, where we've upgraded all of our buildings. It follows the successful 2018 operating referendum with increasing tax base in the Forest Lake Area School District, additional school financing tools that we didn't have available 5, 6, 7, 8 years ago. This project is done without increasing any property tax or business tax in this community. It is a real pride for the district and hopefully a pride for our community. And with that concludes my report. I'll take any questions.
Superintendent Massey, I have a question regarding the direction that the homestand face.
Yeah, that's
Is it true that they face east?
Yeah,
Yes.
for those in our community that sat in those bleachers at graduation and events and stared directly at the sun, we now have our visitors do that. We love them, and in true sportsmanship spirit, we give them new bleachers with ADA accessibility. But we've moved our home bleachers to the west side facing east, and the sun will set behind us with ADA compliance access for our students with a disability and community members. Thank you for the softball.
That's such a welcome thing to have the ADA accessibility at our stadium.
That's critical.
It's huge, so it's terrific. In the bathroom.
Okay, agenda item number 7, do I have a motion to approve the consent agenda?
So, second?
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Number 8, Forest Lake Area Schools staff retirement notices.
Madam Chair, on 8.1, you'll see the 2 submitted retirements, Colleen Hanna, cook manager, and Marie Matlin, ECFE teacher. So we are certainly indebted to their service to the district and incredible service to our kids over the many years.
And I just wanted to add a big congratulations to the both of them, and it was a privilege when I worked with Mary Ann Matlin in early childhood family development, and she is a gem, 28 years. She was just very inspiring, so congratulations to both of them on their retirement.
16 years and 28 years, those are going to be big shoes to fill. So again, congratulations to them.
I move to accept the staff retirement.
Second. All in favor?
Aye.
Donations? Member Kettle?
The gifts to the district this month, we would like to thank the following organizations for their donations. Kretsch, O'Brien, Mueller, and Associates donated $1,000 to the Forest Lake Area School Staff Back to School program. North Risk Partners donated $500 for the same program. Carpenters Local Union 322 donated $1,000 for the same program. The Forest Lake Lions Club deserves a real applause for this, but they donated $2,000 to community education for financial assistance for classes through the program. Target Corporation donated two $20 donations for Lino Lakes Elementary general purpose use. And last but hardly least, Landmark Insurance Services donated school supplies for the family support program. The total donations for this month came to $4,540. We would like to thank again all of those organizations for their support. And with that, I'd like to make a motion and a roll call to accept with appreciation the contributions that these organizations gave us and permit their uses as designated by the donors who donated that money.
We have a motion, do we have a second?
Second.
Member Clerk, please take a roll call.
Member Kettle?
Aye.
Member Olson?
Aye.
Member Rayfield?
Aye.
Member Tyson votes aye. Member Peterson is on a scheduled vacation and absent. Member Luzner is on a scheduled vacation and absent. Member Corcoran?
Aye.
All ayes.
8.3, resolution regarding 2021 to 2022 in-person learning. Dr. Massey?
Thank you, Madam Chair. We've recently received guidance from the Minnesota Department of Health, Minnesota Department of Education regarding protocols and guidance for the start of the school year. Clearly, we are in a very different situation than we were this time last year. We are not entertaining models for being fully open or hybrid models or distance learning options. But I'll pause there and just give you a quick summary that we ran summer school this summer with over 450 students at Wyoming Elementary. That building was at capacity this summer, and we had over 150 students in our secondary program at the Education Center. Those kids did amazing work in an extended summer school program, extended by a week, with an interest of expanding learning opportunities for kids that might have missed learning opportunities from this spring of 2019 all the way through this last spring. So summer school is a great opportunity to catch up learning loss. We ran summer school for that extended period of time with one identified student COVID case and one identified staff COVID case. Those were identified when the student and the staff member had to get a COVID test for a procedure. So we ran a highly successful summer school program with unlimited capacity in the classroom and without the mask requirement. So we were thrilled with our ability with those mitigation efforts, of course paying attention to student and staff safety. That's always at our forefront. But we were able to do it with masks being optional versus required. And given the current situation with COVID, we know that COVID is increasing currently with the Delta variant. We need to pay attention to that. But given what we know now, given the guidance that we received from the Minnesota Department of Health, the resolution that you have in front of you calls for us opening in September, first day of school, fully open at all grade levels, with unlimited capacity in our schools. The guidance is 3 feet of separation. We'll do that to the best of our ability, and we'll recognize and honor that. The guidance also includes that we notify families of COVID cases, but that we are not obligated to contact trace and quarantine students who might be close contact. So we will notify families of identified cases. Families can make the choice whether or not they want their kids to quarantine. That'll be part of the plan as we move forward, and that I would ask for your approval tonight. Masks will be strongly recommended, but not required, and that goes for staff and students. We do encourage families to consider the vaccination for kids 12 and up who are eligible for vaccination, and for, of course, our faculty. That is a family choice and a faculty choice. There is no requirement there, a mandate, of course. And as I mentioned before, families will have the option at grade 6 through kindergarten through 6th grade to with distance learning option through Ranger Academy. So with those highlights of the resolution, administration recommends approval.
We have a motion for A3, resolution regarding 2021-2022 in-person learning.
Move to approve?
Second,
Are there any questions for Dr. Massey?
I have one question, and I can't state the source where I got this, but what about masks on the bus?
Yeah, thank you for that clarification. Masks are still a federal requirement on transportation systems, so that federal mandate is still in effect. We don't have any say over it. So masks are required on the bus. Thank you for that clarification. And that is in the resolution.
Any other questions?
I don't have a question, but I have a comment. I mean, you know, for me, I think, you know, we're not out of the woods yet. I think there's still a decent number of people that are not vaccinated, and I think that is gonna, you know, we're still gonna be seeing some cases, but I think that over the long last year, we did a pretty good job of trying to get kids in early, get them back into their learning, but we also did a really good job of contact tracing, making sure that if something happened that we took care of that. So I just want to say I think we're on the right track here, and I just think we need to be just very flexible. That if things we're starting to do a lot of contract tracing, and we're seeing that a lot of people are, you know, coming to school with COVID, or we're becoming a place where it gets spread. Then I think we're going to have to buckle down a little bit and improve the mask usage. But I think that's the future. I think we can start out with this, see how it goes. If it goes great, then we've done the best we can.
I did have one question, Dr. Massey, that I talked about the lockers, that they'll be in full usage for all the levels.
Yeah, I'm gonna ask Mr. Caldwell and Ms. Lang I'm gonna call on a friend.
Lifeline, there it is.
Are lockers gonna be in full usage for students?
At the high school, no.
They're wondering about buying supplies.
At the high school, no. We will ask kids to carry their stuff unless parents call and request that their students have a locker, but we will go just like we did last year. And frankly, since we restructured the high school, our 10, 11, and 12th graders have not been using lockers. Our 11th and 12th graders, we've only been assigning them to 9th and 10th, and nobody uses their lockers anymore.
Okay.
But on a request basis, definitely we will open up a locker to a student.
And it's more the parents.
Yeah, at the subcommittee grid level, we intend to allow students to carry their backpacks right now and use their lockers as needed, probably morning and afternoon when they first come in with their jackets or their bags. But them getting used to using those is nice, but it's not going to be something we require. And some people have concerns about how heavy their bags are, so if they wanted to put some books in their locker, put their books in their locker, and then just carry their lighter bag for the day, go there as needed. But to keep our congregating low, so that kids aren't congregating in the hallways. So we'll use the same mitigation strategies as we did last year.
Thank you.
Any questions?
No, I was just gonna, I'm really glad that the state, the governor gave us the option to be more flexible with our parents and our staff. It's been a rough year for everyone, and it's such a hot topic. Everybody feels really strong about masking or not masking. So I really believe it's nice to let it be in the hands of the parents and the staff to feel what they do is right for their families. It's been getting the emails, it's a lot. And I'm really thankful you guys are standing up, and I get it, because your parents, you care about your kids. So it's just, I do appreciate the emails. They've been very thoughtful and considerate, and I do appreciate that. And it's really hard to be making these calls as school board members. We're just following the guidelines that are told to us. So it's an emotional topic for everyone. So thank you for understanding and realizing that we're in this as a team. We're not trying to do anything wrong. We're just trying to keep everybody safe, but also I believe parents do have a right to do what's best for their children. So, and until we hear otherwise, I think we're moving the right way. So thank you.
Madam Chair, before you do, can I just add one comment? I think I'd be remiss if we plow forward into the next year without celebrating and recognizing the amazing accomplishment that our system did last year. The asset we had on our system, our educators and staff across the board, to pivot on a dime in March of 19 and to carry through the entire year with distance learning, in-person learning, hybrid learning was an amazing ask of our system. And we were open and in-person more than any other district around us. There were districts where teachers and staff held out against administration. Our staff came to the table, wanting to be in, concerned about their well-being, of course, and worked with us to account for that. But they were there day one and throughout the entire school year. We couldn't have pulled it off without our staff. They deserved an incredible amount of recognition for what we accomplished last year, teeing up the opportunity to move forward this year. So it's important to recognize that.
Could I just ask if we give our staff a standing ovation?
Yes, I would start the clap.
We don't do that very often.
Well said.
It's been a year.
All right, I'm gonna take a roll call now. Member Olson?
Aye.
Member Rayfield?
Aye.
Member Tyson votes aye. Member Peterson is on a scheduled vacation and absent. Member Luther is on a scheduled vacation and absent. Member Corcoran?
Aye.
Member Kettle?
Aye.
All ayes.
Seeing no new business, we will review upcoming calendar dates and agenda item 11, regular meeting recesses to go into closed session to discuss negotiation parameters. Okay.
Yes.
Now we need, yes, we need a motion to second.
Motion to close this meeting.
So moved. Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Meeting is closed.
5-minute break?
Okay.
Yep, recess for 5 minutes.
Sounds
Who
good.
moved it to second?
I did.
Oh, it did? Oh, I don't even remember. I feel like I lost my track. There's 4 of you. I just picked the first one I heard.
Don't touch that stuff.
I said